In this video, I will be speaking about GBP USD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, first we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is testing a quite strong monthly demand and support area. From here, all this previous rejection to the upside was created. Again here, the market tested its zone and rejected it to the upside. Again here, and at the moment, we can see how we got another test of this monthly demand and support last month. Currently, the market is rejecting it to the upside. So in a situation like this, we could expect more bullish price action to be created away from this zone. Dropping down on the weekly time frame, what do we have? Well, from a weekly perspective, the situation is very clear. We have a market which is currently testing previous weekly resistance, which was acting as previous resistance here. Again here, which is now turned support. And as the market is testing this previous weekly resistance turned support, we could expect a potential rejection to the upside away from this area. So on the weekly, everything seems pretty bullish and we could expect bullish price action to be printed. Going down on the daily, however, things get a bit more clear. In fact, looking at the market from a daily perspective, it is quite easy to identify the fact that at the moment the market is stuck in a range. We have the top of the range here and we have the bottom of the range here. Now, the top is obviously acting as resistance and already acted as resistance 3 times. The bottom is acting as support, and also here it already acted as support 3 times. Until the market will remain in between the support and resistance, we cannot be looking for anything interesting because essentially we have a range-bound market. It is also important to keep in mind that the best probabilities in the market come when all the time frames are showing the same direction. In this case, the monthly and weekly are both showing bullish price action, meaning that also here on the daily, the only way in which the daily time frame would be aligned with the bullish view that we get from the monthly and weekly is if the market manages to break above this high. In fact, only if we get a break above the high after the break on the retest of this previous resistance turn support, this is where we would have quite interesting probabilities for a potential rejection to the upside for the completion of this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. So if the market will remain inside of this range, or if we will have a break below this support, we don't have anything interesting. However, if we get a successful break above this high after the break, this previous resistance is at that point turned support here. So if we do get a successful break above this high after a break on the retest of this previous resistance turned support, how we could be approaching a potential rejection to the upside? Well, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing, potentially also with students, is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to potentially complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis education and update, make sure that you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you, and I will see you in my next breakdown.